Hi, this is Chloe McCracken here at Inner Whispers, and I'm going to be unboxing the Tarot Apokalypsis today. It's a deck that I've been waiting for quite a while because it's this box set as opposed to just the cards which came out a few months earlier, but I did think that it would be worthwhile waiting for the box set because I believe not only does it have a nice companion book, but the cards are also a little bit larger and I believe they're borderless as well, so let's find out if that's really the case. So first off, it comes with this sort of double box thing. Let's have a look. Pulling that out. One is the book, which has a very sumptuous feel. I mean, this is, I don't know how much you can see, but that's really shiny gold. And then it's hardback. Very colourful stuff on using the tarot, then sections for each of the cards, gorgeous full page, full colour images, I don't know for all the cards, certainly for all the majors, and yeah, for the minors we have a smaller show of the card, but this is, you know, really sumptuous, and there's, you know, even little red ribbon to hold your place in the book. So an absolutely gorgeous book. And if we have a look at the contents page just quickly, if I can find the contents page. There we go. So we have an introduction, we have some tarot spreads, and some practice and exercises in the continued study. That looks interesting. And the spreads, we've got about 5 pages, 6 pages of that. So I can have a quick look. So we have a brief unveiling a situation, revelations of the 4 suits, Demeter's 4 seasons spread, Hecate, Triformis spread for choices and options, and that's it. So 4 little spreads, but that's still, it's a lovely, sumptuous book, got a real heft to it. Very nice. And then inside the second part, with another little red ribbon, we have the deck itself. I'll open that up. As advertised, these are borderless. Nice feel to them, nice heft. And here we have the backs, seem fully reversible. We have an we have an extra card, the All Gifted. Yeah, she has a bit of a, I don't know, high priestess feel to her. So then a lovely Sufi dervish as the Fool, the Magician with this big, wow, that's quite impressive. The High Priestess with a snake amongst other symbols. The Empress looking very lush. I wasn't interested in the first deck by this team. The Tarot, oh dear, I've forgotten the name now. I didn't like the images. They had too much, there was something odd about them and they just didn't appeal. But this deck has a similar feel in the sense of it being sort of photo edited, but there isn't that weirdness of proportion, and it does have the same amazing colour and sumptuous feel to the fabrics. Wow, the Hanged Man, okay. Not upside down, but kind of, there's been some films that have been like that. Very spooky death. An interesting Temperance. We have the kind of statue on the other side, the alchemical mixing of the bottles up the top. So, quite devilish devil. And interesting. Kind of another Indian mystic, calling on the goddess Kali perhaps. Oh, that's a beautiful star. Very nice. And the moon, oh, interesting because she's quite dark, and this sort of shadow and the dark dogs. So, quite a dark version, which is rather nice. Sometimes the moon can get a little bit too cycles rather than mysteries and shadows. And here we have almost more cycles with the sun with the astrological symbols around. I guess it is sun sign astrology. Judgment, rising up from the depths, and the world. Interesting combination. So we move on to the suits. Ace of Wands, nice clear fire associations here if you like that. And I like the Egyptian flavour, the Two of Wands. We see that continued here, so very Egyptian throughout this suit. I like that, that appeals to me. One of my earliest decks was the Ancestral Path Tarot, which had Egyptian folk as the suit of wands. Getting distracted by the images. Something of the weird proportions going on there a little bit. Oh, okay, that's quite dynamic. Very directed and focused. There's a strong energy to these, I have to say. Very pleasing. Princess of Wands. So we have them named Princess, Prince. The Queen of Wands and the King. Oh, I love that. The animal head. I wonder whether that'll be the case of all the kings. We shall soon find out. Moving on to the suit of swords. We have ravens. So maybe Norse is what I'm thinking. Okay. Beautiful image with all the blood still and the cold. It's nevertheless charming. The Four of Swords. Lovely combination of the woman and the dog come wolf. Yeah, I'm getting a definite Viking feel from these and cold Norse, so that's interesting and fun. Certainly it makes the suits quite clear, even though like here we have a sort of spear rather than a sword in one place. Beautifully forthright Princess of Swords. I love her gaze, and the blue around her eyes is appealing to me as well. That clarity of vision that the swords bring us. Oh wow, and here he is riding a falcon or a hawk. That's amazingly powerful. Oh, she has real Glenn Close in Dangerous Liaisons thing going on for me anyway, with the hair and whatnot. I love this. The magic of the spinning wheel. There's all kinds of symbolic things going on there. This could also be, the wicked witch who created the enchantment that made the princess sleep 100 years and all those sorts of things. So, and the King of Swords. No animal head, but animals still strongly represented here. And a lovely flowing Ace of Cups. There's a lot going on in these images. They are quite busy. And yet they are also fairly clear, so I don't think it's really an issue as such, and it certainly adds a lot of depth if you're doing a meditation on these cards, or if you're reading them intuitively and seeing what symbol chooses to jump out at you at this particular time, a little bit as in the way of the Voyager Tarot. Very beautiful dancing Three of Cups. Much calmer fall. Oh my, talk about drama queen. And it's interesting, the spill of red and of white, of that kind of spilt milk and also spilling blood or spilling wine. Yes, interesting connotations there. Delicate childishness, and yet there's this thing up here which speaks of, I don't know, the past in a different way than just childhood. So yeah, the whole thing's got, I guess, a Greek thing going on. And quite bacchanalic in the Nine of Cups. Nice family in the 10. Our princess. Interesting that she's carrying 2 flames. That could be a little confusing, but the cup here is quite a strong element, especially the way that the light comes to it. And the butterflies are lovely. Ooh, an angel. He looks so, yeah, a little wimpy, which that kind of fits with some of my ideas of the Prince of Cups. Queen of Cups looks at us in a deep and forthright manner. Oh dear. Yes, he does make me laugh. King of Cups, very much into himself. And moving on to the suit of Pentacles, we have a lotus kind of theme going on. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, I'm getting a Malaysian feel. 3 of Pentacles and 4. Oh, the elephant is lovely touched in that. Looks very nicely. Oh. This really has that touch of going through hard times and yet the spiritual side to it. Generosity. Working hard. Yes. I'm really liking this. The elephant comes up everywhere. That was a Ganesha and this is just more a straight up elephant. So I like the multiculturalness of this deck, and oh wow, look at that. Deeply pregnant and yet beautiful, and the whole verdant growing thing going on in the Princess of Pentacles, that's fabulous. Prince very much on his dignity with the peacock in front. Oh wow, she's fabulous too. And the king in blue. So yes, some really fabulous cards there. As I say, extremely vibrant. I love the multinationality, the ethnic diversity to it. Backs are non-reversible. Can't quite hold the whole deck in a single hand, but it does shuffle all right. So it is that little bit thicker, which may be good for durability, and it does still shuffle quite nicely. All cold. It's pleasant in the hand, not overly slick. And the Magician as the card that I drew there. An interesting deck for sure. Blessed be.